Switzerland, in a sense, are more settled. The manager's been there for longer. They're a more settled unit who are used to playing with each other all the time. Spalletti is still tinkering. I mean, six changes for a last 16 game. That is what makes this so fascinating. Italy, because of their tradition, their football heritage, the fact they've won the World Cup 4 times and the Euros twice, we sort of make them our favourites. I think this game is fraught with danger for them, fraught with danger.
Well, the players are just about to come out onto the pitch. It is Switzerland against Italy in the last 16 of Euro 2024. Just the one change for Switzerland, 6, as Ali's just been telling us.
Hey, Hot Box.
Italy, as they try to find the spot to ignite their tournament.
Just another boring soccer stream, but thanks for coming in anyways.
On them yet. And the players just making their way out onto the pitch in this stadium where Italy won the World Cup in 2006. Gigi Buffon was part of that squad. He is part of the setup at Italy, in part to just try and remind those players of the history that goes before them and to try and boost their morale, boost their confidence, and to give them that impetus as they head into the knockout
So how are you doing,
stages.
Hotbox? Are you still doing,
We're heading now into the
doing more
national
clips
anthem.
today, or what's up?
With Italy.
Against Hungary, but they also struggle to score, Kelly, and I'm definitely not trying to put people off this game, because we've been saying it all along. We think it's going to be tight. It could be extra time. It could easily be penalties. There's going to be a tension in this game, because if one team can get a lead, it really piles the pressure on the other one, because they found it so hard to score. One very quick stat for you that I really like, that doesn't go in Italy's favour as well, that I thought was quite interesting. It probably doesn't mean anything at all. Italy are the defending champions. Go back 11 Euros, back to 1980, when the sort of knockout stages started as a thing. Only 2 defending champions ever.
You got to make space on your computer, on your hard drive. You're deleting,
and defended their
you're
title.
deleting old stuff that you don't need.
Czechoslovakia back in 1980. Weirdly, it's not happened for the defending champions at all these tournaments. So, you know, Switzerland might take a little bit of heart from that. As I say, it's absolute nonsense, but it's
they'll be all
hard at it. You're hard at it.
Some of them will just be about the cyclical nature of football, that when you reach your pinnacle, then the rebuild almost can start immediately. But you mentioned earlier, Pat, that this
you're cleaning out your phone.
Has very happy memories for
Yeah, I got to
it.
clean out my phone too.
They won the World Cup here against France in a game that was probably remembered as much for Zinedine Zidane's, let's call it a coming together with Marco Materazzi in that one. But Italy became world champions. As James Horncastle put it, they became immortal, those players. There is an opportunity for them to build on that kind of the anecdotes that Gigi Buffon
Well, that's good, man. That's good. Looking forward to the next one.
Go RV's Adventure Club makes every journey worry-free.
They know they've not been playing particularly well. They know that they've gone from being, in there as holders and one of the favourites to big outsiders. Do you think they care? Do you think they really think, well, that's us, we've no chance? Or do they think, yeah, we can build ourselves into this? If we just
that's good, Hotbox. That's good. This Nate 420 guy, he's new to me. So you bringing up all his stuff is teaching me about his path on YouTube and the internet and stuff, right? So it's new content for someone like me. So I'll be tuning in to check it out. I'll give you some likes and some thumbs ups and stuff.
Onto the touchline
and
down to
are you putting everything on your Rumble
and
too?
they're the long dugouts where everybody sits in one row. And they always look spectacular when a team gets a winning goal or wins a penalty shootout, because everybody runs forward as one. And at the moment, there are banks of photographers in front of those dugouts waiting to take pictures of the players, and the substitutes.
5 Italian-based players in the Swiss lineup, including their goalkeeper Jan Sommer, a champion with Inter this season. The back 3 is Cher, Akanji and Rodriguez. Freuler and Xhaka holding in midfield. Abisha and Rida are in the wide areas, with Vargas, Mbolo and Ndoye in attack. All change again for Italy. 10 of their players are home-based. Donnarumma, the goalkeeper, who plays for Paris Saint-Germain, is the only exception to that. The back 4 is Di Lorenzo, Mancini, Bastoni and Darmian. Cristante, Fagioli and Barella in midfield. Chiesa, Scamacca and El Shaarawy in attack. And Scott Minto, it is interesting that Spalletti has gone for players who is not picked at all so far in the tournament for the first knockout game. It looks to be a massive risk.
Well, it is, Nigel.
To me, Rumble's pretty
it's almost
easy,
like
buddy.
I don't know what I've seen already.
Like if your
so far.
YouTube
and
stuff
to
is
be fair,
popular, put it on there.
Well, it could
And like
be.
I said,
It's
I think
almost
they
like
pay
I
you
don't
like
think
1 cent
what I've
for
seen
every
is going to take us any
10,000
further.
likes
So
or
let's
something
just
like
give
that,
it a
or
go. That the
10,000
players that
views.
perhaps I didn't think in the
So,
first place. Look, take you back
yeah.
to the first game. It's
It just sits there too. Like once you've got it uploaded,
they
it'll just
responded
sit there.
really well. That first half,
Some of my
was so
stuff, I
impressed
go
with them.
back and
Then they sat
it
back
gets
and very nearly,
not like a lot of likes, but it is
letting an
harvesting
equaliser.
likes. So.
Spain, they were thrashed 1-0. And then the Croatian game, well, it was the last kick off the game. They were clearly in the first half, they were trying to play for a 0-0 draw. The moment they conceded, they panicked a little bit, but still didn't look like scoring, I didn't feel. And they got that. They knew they were lucky. So I think Spalletti's just gone, do you know what, I've got to throw the dice here because what we've seen so far has just not been good enough.
Simon Marciniak of Poland, who refereed the most recent World Cup final, is the referee. And we have an Argentinian fourth official, Facundo Tello. And another Pole, Tomasz Kwiatkowski, is the VAR here today. Both teams in their pre-match huddle, either side of the halfway line, on a hot day in Berlin, 29 degrees Celsius at kick-off time. And that could explain the changes and maybe the younger players and more energy from Spalletti in the Italian midfield, certainly at the start of this game. Italy in all blue and Switzerland in all red will get the match underway. And the knockout rounds about to get underway on the TalkSport network. There are no second chances now. Drama and probably penalties are guaranteed over the next few days. And we get another look at Italy's rather underwhelming title defence here today. But the key thing is for the Azzurri is that they are still here. And but for a goal in the 98th minute on Tuesday, that would not have been the case. Switzerland on the attack right from the start with Embolo down the right. A low cross into the penalty area is blocked at the near post by Mancini, who has come in for Calafiori. And it will be a throw-in for Switzerland, who are attacking the Marathon Gate, the open end of the Olympic Stadium, away to our left in the first half. Xhaka, the captain, plays the ball down the line towards this near side. Clicked into the penalty area. Riga's ball in, took a deflection off Cristante. Could have gone anywhere, and in the end, bounced just wide for a Swiss corner.
Well, it's been a really good start from Switzerland. You can see the Italians trying to press when they haven't got the ball, but there's no point in pressing if you've got a high line and you're not picking up the runner. Embolo got into the box. It was defended in the end, but that ball there from Riga, if that had gone through to Abashir, he'd have been through on goal.
Corner for Switzerland. On the far side, Fabian Riga will take it in towards that near post, headed away though by Bastoni. Hooked back towards goal by Abashir on this near side, but Mancini is there to head the ball away. But Switzerland recover possession with Rodriguez, one of three Bologna players in the Swiss team, the side who were so impressive in their qualification for the UEFA Champions League next season in Serie A in the campaign just gone. Now Barella for Italy, who looks to be their mainstay in midfield. And in terms of trust, Scott, he seems to be one of the few players that Spalletti can really bank on.
Yeah, absolutely. Arguably the best player in Serie A. He is a banker for Italy for sure. And while Switzerland have started the better just in the first couple of minutes, you can see what the Italians are trying to do, and Spalletti and why perhaps he's picked a more younger, fresher side, because they are running around chasing, almost playing a man-to-man basis. At the moment, it's kind of a mid-block, but up until now, it's been trying to break them down and chase and get them to go long.
In the T20 final, India are 168 for 5 in the final over against South Africa, having won the toss and chosen to bat, as the Swiss go long again, looking for the run down the centre of Freuler on this occasion, who has been so impressive in this tournament. But he's one of 4 Italians on a yellow card in this game, along with Xhaka, Rodriguez and Ndoye. At the moment, Donnarumma, Cristante and Fagioli are in a similar situation for Italy. And no jacket required for Luciano Spalletti here today in such warm conditions as he stands in his shirt sleeves on the touchline. Very expressive and animated already, as is his style, as Switzerland win it back on this near side with Aebischer, and he's been fouled, and Marciniak, the referee, has given Switzerland a free kick with 3 minutes played on TalkSport. On this left-hand side, Xhaka quickly transfers it wide to Cher, and now Ndoye down the right into Mbolo, who tries to hold the ball up, but Barella comes away with it. The clearance downfield, though, wasn't convincing from Darmian. Xhaka wins it back. Aebischer wide towards this near side, and Ruben Vargas down the Swiss left. He comes in field onto the right foot again. Back to Xhaka, and here is Rodriguez. And now Vargas looking to take on Di Lorenzo for pace. The crossing was a good one into the 6-yard area, headed away by a stooping Bastoni. But the Swiss on top in the opening moments.
Absolutely. Di Lorenzo has had a tough Euros already, certainly against Spain, but also against Croatia. You can see Vargas fancies his chances in Mbolo. He's got put his hands to his head thinking, why did I go in there? Great cross.
Rodriguez on this near side, rather sold Vargas short, but it squirts into the path of Freuler, and Brolo goes down inside the penalty area. The challenge from Mancini. Penalty appeals are waved away, and El Shaarawy tries to break down the left-hand side. Back in the team at the age of 31, the Roman midfielder. Only his 32nd appearance in an international career, now stretched over 12 years. He's had his injuries, but he's also been in and out of the Italian squad. But at the moment, everybody seems to be in and out of this Italian squad.
Well, Spalletti's not been in charge for a year yet, and I think he's still getting to know what his best team is. And look, 2 of the changes were enforced, one being suspended, one an injury, but still to make 4 more changes on top of that in a round of 16 game, I think it tells you exactly he doesn't really know what his best 11 is.
5 minutes played, Switzerland 0, Italy 0 in the opening game of the round of 16 at UEFA Euro 2024. Live on TalkSport, we have the host nation Germany against Denmark, live from Dortmund, and our coverage will begin at 7 o'clock on TalkSport with Adrian Durham, Ian Danta and Darren Bent, assuming this game finishes in 90 minutes. Of course, we must have a winner here today, with extra time and penalties a possibility, and on the basis of the way these teams have shaped up so far, a real possibility.
I was just going to say, we cannot assume this game is going to be over in 90 minutes. And at the moment, we fancy Switzerland before the game. They've certainly started the better, but it's 0-0. Who can unlock the defences?
El Shaarawy now tries to cross into the penalty area after a mistake on the far side from Ndoye, but in the end, El Shaarawy fouling Ndoye after he originally miskicked the cross with Scamacca in a good position, and it's a free kick for Switzerland.
Yeah, but at least it's the first time they've actually got into Switzerland's final third. At the moment, they've been very much on the back foot, and they've had the ball and not been able to keep it. And Switzerland at the moment just controlling the tempo. If Italy try and press high, then the ball goes over the top. If not, they play through the midfield, and Granit Xhaka getting on the ball as much as possible.
And Switzerland coming forward again, midway inside their own half, attacking the goal away to our left. And here is Ricardo Rodriguez. In towards Vargas, and Switzerland are controlling the tempo at the moment. Murat Yakin was a coach really under pressure at the end of the qualification. They only won 1 of their final 7 games. Did not play well, but he's now a very popular figure once again, and he made his way across the running track towards the Swiss fans on the far side before kickoff and got a tremendous ovation as Chiesa pirouettes in the centre circle and plays it wide to this near side. At the end of the Indian innings in the World T20 final, they are 176 for 7. So 177 is the target for South Africa to lift the trophy. Xhaka waving players forward wide on this near side, finding Aebischer down the left. Aebischer comes in field to find Xhaka again, and here is Vargas. Vargas will always cut in field, but he does have support from Aebischer. And here is Rodriguez once again. The Italians very deep. Every blue shirt back behind the ball within 25 yards of their own goal at the moment. Xhaka finding Rodriguez. Rodriguez challenged by Chiesa, and in the end Di Lorenzo has the opportunity to clear, which he does, but he only picks out Vargas on this near side. Now Aebischer once again, and the Italians, despite all of those defenders, unable to get out here.
Rodriguez was on the ball and he looked up and there was no one in the box, and Bolo had come outside to feet. It's all very well playing pass, but someone's got to be in there looking to get in behind the defence, even if they're defending deep, Italy. And it's the one criticism I would give Switzerland right now, who have started off much the better side.
And there'll be a concern for Spalletti because Nicolo Barella is down, clutching his left thigh. Switzerland have a free kick here for an earlier challenge by Cristante on Aebischer, but Barella clashed with Remo Freuler, and he just pulled up, clutching the back of his left hamstring, and that doesn't look good.
No, absolutely. It wasn't as if it was a kick. I can only assume he's tweaked his hamstring, and I hope for the sake of the Italians that it's just a slight twinge, nothing more than that. But yes, okay, defender was close to him and kicked the ball away, but it didn't kick at the back of his leg at all. That's the tweaked hamstring. Hopefully he'll be okay.
9 minutes played. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talk Sport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And Barella is back on his feet, but he hobbles away to this near side. Pellegrini and Fratesi are both warming up as a precaution, and he is not moving freely at all, Nicolo Barella, and he's still rubbing the left thigh, left hamstring area.
Yeah, he's now kind of holding the side, which kind of makes it as if that maybe it was some kind of kick, but certainly when he looked at the pictures, when he first grabbed hold of his leg, it definitely was the hamstring.
Vargas plays the free kick short towards Freuler, and now wide towards the far side, and the cross is now delivered, flicked on by Akanji at the near post, but Italy will clear. Now Scamacca looking to link up with Fagioli, and it's a big day for Nicolo Fagioli, the 23-year-old from Juventus, only his 5th appearance for the national side, and he barely played this season.
That's right,
due to a 7-month betting ban, as Vargas goes down on the edge of the penalty area, caught by Di Lorenzo, but Marciniak believes he originated the contact and tells him to get up.
Going to be a good battle, that. Di Lorenzo knows already he's in the game. Vargas trying to be very direct. And one of the bits of criticism we can give perhaps an England side, when they get the ball wide, there's no one trying to take on the fullback. It's always coming inside. Vargas is certainly going at his fullback.
Responsibly.
As I say, Di Lorenzo knows he's going to be in for a game today.
The winners of this game will meet England or Slovakia in the
Hey,
quarterfinals.
false god, what's up?
To volley the ball across the penalty area. The ball was dropping over his shoulder down the right-hand side. Never really got hold of it.
Will this game go to penalties?
It was sought by Granit Xhaka, and the Italians will regather. So the quarterfinal in Dusseldorf against the English or the Slovaks next Saturday for one of these teams. And then one of Romania, the Netherlands, Austria or Turkey in the semi-finals. People have said it's the weaker half of the draw, but
done and done.
Someone's going to reach the final.
Absolutely. I think it won't only be the English public saying that it's good to be on that side of the draw. Great opportunity for all those sides on that side of the draw. It really is.
I don't know what the deal is right now.
Switzerland have had so far.
11 minutes played, and the Italians have barely crossed the halfway line, and it seems at the moment that Spalletti has sent them out to just stay in the game and win ugly if they can. Now Vargas on this near side. Well, Aebischer went down first, then Vargas was caught by Di Lorenzo. 2 Swiss players are writhing in apparent agony close to the touchline on this near side. They do have a free kick, I think, for the first challenge by Mancini on Aebischer before Vargas was caught by Di Lorenzo.
Yeah, and I think the first one was a little bit innocuous. And the second one, again, it's a fullback trying to get close to his winger, who knows that once his winger gets into his stride, he's got the better of him. One thing you don't want to do as a fullback when you know the winger actually knows within the first couple of minutes.
They're not looking so great right now.
You don't want him to get a run at him.
It's weird too. It's really
Swiss
hot.
coach
You
out
think it'd
towards
be
the edge of
better.
this technical area to check on the health of
Italy's
two
hotter
of
than
its players.
Switzerland. I don't know what
Played
their deal
against
is.
England for
Italy hasn't
Switzerland
looked
back in
great, to be honest.
Euro
this whole time.
2004 in Coimbra when Wayne Rooney ran the show in a 3-0 victory for the Three Lions. Abisha over the free kick here. Swung in with the right foot high to the far post, and it's meat and drink for Gianluigi Donnarumma.
No, that's poor from Abisha. He's better than that. As I did the first game.
Yeah,
where
they have.
I thought he was excellent, especially in
They've
the
looked
first half. Assist
questionable
and a
the
goal.
whole time.
He was coming in off the left that way, but certainly good on set pieces too. Not in that particular instance.
And you can also have your say with Adam Cattrall and Jermaine Pennant on the weekend sports bar following the matches today. And tomorrow, the build-up.
Considering they won the last Euros,
live with Jeff Sterling and
they
Gabby
don't look
Agbonlahor from 1
they don't
o'clock,
look like
and
they
then
did.
Adrian Durham and the team from 4 o'clock inside the stadium. And then Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will be taking your calls all the way through until 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. 14 minutes played. Once again, the Swiss have a player down here, and it has been a rather punctuated start to the game. Granit Xhaka, the player who is currently receiving some treatment.
Well, now he's on his feet again, but it wasn't good. He was under pressure from Chiesa, played the ball out and went straight down. So again, from the Swiss point of view, hopefully he'll be okay. But Italy at the moment just can't.
I see. They're still younger.
Switzerland decide to press.
They're a younger side overall.
Every game from the round of 16 on the TalkSport network.
Less
Mark your
experience
card
than
on Monday at 5. What a
squads.
game. France against Belgium. And then Portugal against Slovenia at 8. Both those games on TalkSport. Same story on Tuesday. We'll have Romania against the Netherlands. And then Austria against Turkey, which is in the portion of the draw also occupied by England. Now Chiesa on this near side for Italy. Down the right. Back to Di Lorenzo. Fagioli, good ball forward from him down the right. Picking out Cristante. The low ball in is blocked at the near post by Rodriguez, but Italy's first piece of constructive football in the game with
France
15
in 2014
results in their
they
first
said in
score.
2014 France had a lot of talent and was going to be a team
playing
in the
on the
future.
left at that particular moment. Cristante made a really good run inside, but Rodriguez, with all the experience he's got, read the situation and stopped the cross developing.
Italian corner. Fagioli will take it.
I see.
And he's been picked today due to his energy to deal with the heat, according to Spalletti. And the outswinger from him is high. Volley back across the face of goal by El Shaarawy, but into the ground and headed away by Cher. And the Italians will go all the way back to the halfway line, and the former Manchester United defender, Matteo Darmian. Now Fagioli again. All change in the Italian midfield and their attacking ranks today after that match against Croatia. Had they not scored Zaccagni in the 98th minute, they would have gone out at the end of the group stage. Now Chiesa on the near side.
I completely agree with that.
A long diagonal ball forward, but it just runs out of play, and it will be a goal kick for Switzerland.
That's unlucky though. Just in the last minute or so, Fagiola's gotten the ball. He was pressed, but he turned the Swiss midfielder very well indeed and kept the play going. That's what they need to do. And then he just tried it was a Hollywood 50-yard crossfield pass. It nearly came off with Chiesa, not quite able to keep it in, but at least Italy are keeping the ball a little bit more now.
17 minutes played, 0-0. Very clever dummy from Mbolo, releasing Vargas, and now down the centre once again on this near side. There's an opportunity for Reader. Mbolo tries to curl the ball into the penalty area. Not quite sure what he was trying to do there, and it's claimed by Donnarumma. And the Italians are quickly breaking forward now with El Shaarawy down their left. 3 red shirts around him. One of them, Xhaka, takes him out, and it will be a free kick. Xhaka is on a yellow card, and he'll be looking here at Marciniak, the referee, to see what he does.
Exactly.
Oh, it's a foul. So I think it's a yellow card. He's kind of just stood his ground as El Shaarawy comes inside. Definite foul. And Mbolo should have done so much better. I don't know what he was trying, as you just said. A really poor cross from Ndoye at the far post. You either have a shot there or got to put that much further out. Italy, to be fair, counter-attack very, very quickly and now got a free kick in a dangerous position.
The Italians scored from a very similar position in their opening game against Albania. Of course, they conceded the quickest ever goal in the tournament and then quickly responded with a set piece which was headed home by Alessandro Bastoni at the far post. And Yann Sommer, the veteran Inter Milan goalkeeper, is trying to organise his wall. Fagioli and Barella are over the free kick here for Italy, and it's flighted high, and Di Lorenzo with a great chance. He wasn't spotted, he peeled off the back of the wall, he was onside, and an air shot 8 yards out with the goal at his mercy.
Well, with the greatest of respect, and he was probably offside actually as well, I don't believe that was done in the training ground because, and I'm not being in the fullback union here, you don't put a fullback who's right-footed for a left foot volley coming over your shoulder. It was a great movement, I have to say. Switzerland could turn around and say, well, look, we held our line and it would have been offside because we can clearly see he was half a yard offside, but that will definitely give the Italians a bit more confidence.
And it does suggest the Italians are rather playing off the cuff here.
I think that's a really good point. As I say, there's no way that was practice. You don't put a fullback there on his wrong foot. Maybe a striker, yes, but there's a great little dink over the top, and Switzerland were asleep, but the fact that they held their line, it would have been offside, but really good movement from Di Lorenzo.
The South African innings is underway in the World T20 final. And they are one without loss, needing 177 to beat India. Having lost the toss and being asked to bowl as Sommer, wearing all yellow, the Swiss goalkeeper away to our right, plays it short to Manuel Akanji of Manchester City. He's got plenty of time to pick out Xhaka. No blue shirts anywhere near him. Every time Switzerland have the ball, the Italians retreat.
I got a question, False God.
Into their own half.
But then the Italians have got Telscomacca
that
to drop
they'll
off as
be
well,
biased towards a German player?
Down. They passed around
I was thinking maybe Tony
Mbolo
Kroos.
on the edge of the penalty area, plays it square to Abisha, almost back in field towards Mbolo again, but Darmian will clear. Rodriguez with the ponytail on this near side. 20 minutes played on Talk Sport in the round of 16
Spain
at Euro
looks
2024.
awesome. Spain
It is
looks really
Switzerland
good.
0, Italy 0. And Doy now down the right, cuts in field, finds Freuler. Freuler's got support wide on the right-hand side, but Switzerland here just happy to work the Italians, move the ball around in the heat.
I don't really
Their
know.
opponent's doing some
I was
chasing,
just
but in
curious.
the end it goes all the way back to Yann Sommer.
And do you know what? It's not bad tactics from Switzerland. Don't force it. It is very hot. Get them running around. Okay, they're young, they're fresh, but they might not be fully match fit if they haven't played a lot of games in this tournament. So therefore, just keep the ball. It's a 90-minute, perhaps even 120-minute game.
Switzerland finds space again on this near side. Abisha picking out Vargas down the left. He's looking to high step into the penalty area. Back to Xhaka, 25 yards out. Low end towards Abisha. No real room. He tries to work it wide towards this near side. Reader in
And
the end
he's
tried to
Spanish
pick out
too,
Abisha,
Fabian
but it was all a
Ruiz.
bit too narrow for the Swiss, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Do you know what? It was really tight, and there were a lot of Italians in there, but I'm looking at Mbolo, and he's just standing there. He's not really trying to help. He's got to be able to read the situation. Abisha's got the ball in a tight situation. His touch is decent, so he's looking for that pass. It may be a wall pass, or it may be a little pass through, but there's no movement from the striker at all.
Both these teams finished
Yeah,
second
right.
in their group,
Got
but
it,
in very
got it.
different circumstances. The Swiss beat Hungary 3-1 in their first game, and then draws against Scotland and Germany, but they were denied top spot by Niklas Füllkrug in the 92nd minute in their match with the host nation. So they would have been playing Denmark in Dortmund tonight. And Italy, of course, runners-up in rather chaotic fashion in Group B. Beat Albania 2-1, having conceded the quickest ever goal in the Euros, were absolutely schooled by the Spanish, hammered 1-0, as Scott said before kick-off, and then that draw against Croatia with the equaliser with the final kick of the game. Freuler coming forward now for Switzerland, tries to find Mbolo, but it was well read by Bastoni, and Italy will clear. And now Chiesa on to Scamacca. Scamacca, though, with a dreadful crossfield ball straight to Ndoye, and Switzerland have the ball back.
They can't keep it, can they, the Italians at the moment? And after just a couple of minutes of getting the ball down the other end, again, we're going back to how this game has started. Switzerland dominating, waiting to see if Italy press. If they do, they go a little bit longer. If they don't, they just pass through the midfield.
23 minutes played. Switzerland 0, Italy 0. And now Mbolo has been great through. Mbolo's shot is turned aside by Donnarumma. Ndoye inside the penalty area. He fires in the shot. It's blocked. Reader tries to win it back. Freuler now fires in the shot. It's deflected, and Mbolo knows he's offside, so doesn't become involved in the play. But the first clear-cut chance here for Switzerland, and Breel Mbolo knows he should have scored.
And I think it's Darmian keeping them on side as well. The two centre-halves of Italy have pushed up, but Darmian didn't, and he was onside. One-on-one situation, a very good save from Donnarumma, but Mbolo has got to, he's got to put it in the back of the net. You don't get many chances like that. Can't give the goalkeeper an opportunity to make the save.
Well, 7 of the 8 round of 16 ties at Euro 2020 were won by the team scoring first, and Switzerland should have scored first there. 24 minutes played on TalkSport, but it's still 0-0. But Italy have been out of sorts, and at the moment they are just hanging around, staying in the game.
Well, again, we go back to the 6 changes, don't we? He's changed more than half the side. So it's looking like that at the moment. And they've conceded the first goal in all 3 of their group stage games. 1-1, lost 1, draw 1. And one they won against with the greatest of respect and a decent Albanian side, but still a game that they should be able to win. I just worry about Italy at the moment. They want to keep it to 0-0 as long as possible.
Italy again have tweaked their formation as they give the ball away again. Here is Mbolo with a shot left-footed from the edge of the penalty area, blocked by Mancini. And then El Shaarawy. And Italy have almost gone to a 4-1-4-1 formation now to circle the wagons in midfield, with Fagioli just in front of the back 4 and Scamacca very much on his own in attack. But here is Fagioli coming forward now, scooped over the top looking for Scamacca. It's blocked though, headed away by Freuler. Chiesa now down the left-hand side, a burst into the penalty area. Chiesa still going, but the low shot is turned aside by Akanji at the near post for a corner.
Well, he was superb in 2020, Chiesa, wasn't he? And he was brilliant there as well. 2 defenders around him, yet he still was able to come back inside on his right foot and get a shot in. I think Jan Sommer would have saved it, but Akanji just can't take that risk. I think the only way Italy are going to win this is a piece of individual brilliance and then just typical Italian defending.
26 minutes played. Switzerland 0, Italy 0. But the way Italy have given the ball away inside their own half so far is very un-Italian-like, or certainly not like the way they've won tournaments in the past. It's played on TalkSport. We have every single knockout game on the TalkSport network.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Germany against
they're
Denmark
in big
coming
trouble.
up at 8 o'clock following this game with Adrian Durham, Ian Danter, and Darren Bent in Dortmund. And of course, tomorrow it is England against Slovakia, 5 o'clock on TalkSport. And we will be building up to that game on the TalkSport network all day. Switzerland with 65% possession so far. 8 attempts, the Italians have had 1, but curiously, the Italians have had more corners. Now El Shaarawy, down the left-hand side, looking to shrug off Ndoye. Fagioli, running Cristante. And Barella has been robbed by Freuler, and Switzerland will look to turn the ball over quickly again. Aebischer making a burst from midfield, and his ankle was clipped there by Barella, and it's a yellow card and a free kick for Switzerland with 10 minutes to play in the first half.
But again, just how good Switzerland are without the ball, putting pressure on Barella. You see he's frustrated. Really good run in the end from Aebischer down the middle, committing Barella to make that foul and a rightful yellow card.
Denmark has played
So
really
going
stiff.
for South Africa at the moment in the T20 final. They are 14 for 2 in the fourth over. 177 the
What do you
target
think about Austria? They finished top of their pool.
against India. Rodriguez here for Switzerland. 0-0 in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. But it's been one-way traffic so far. Italy hanging on grimly. But now Ndoye comes in field. The ball deflects into the path of Aebischer, but the deflection just carrying the ball behind him. Xhaka back towards Rodriguez. Aebischer again down the left-hand side. And here is Xhaka. Switzerland taking their time down the left before thinking about maybe a cross. There are 4 red shirts
They
waiting,
surprised
but now
me.
quickly surrounded by blue Italians.
I was very surprised with Austria. Very surprised.
Finding Rieder. But the Swiss know they can play the ball back to the halfway line under no pressure whatsoever. Skamaka is just doing shuttle runs between Akanji and Cher at the moment, and he's never getting the ball.
No. And the problem with that is when he does get the ball, he's going to be tired.
And Ndoye linking up with Mbolo. Now it's wide to Vargas down the left-hand side. Vargas with the low ball in. Volley towards goal by Freuler. And it's taken brilliantly by Remo Freuler. And Switzerland have the goal they deserve. They have utterly dominated the Italians since the opening whistle. And that was a superb goal finished by Remo Freuler of Bologna. It is no more than Switzerland deserve. And the Italian defence of the European Championship is looking oh so tenuous at the moment. 36 minutes played. It's Switzerland 1, Italy 0, and deservedly so.
With a 64% possession, it's 10 goal attempts to 1. 3 shots
10
on
goal
target
attempts to
0. I think
1.
the stats
Jeepers.
say it all. But still, you've got to break down this Italian defence. And the way they got the ball out wide. And again, we talked about the timing of a run down the middle. He got a little bit lucky, Freuler. The ball's kind of bounced up with his first touch, but he still had the composure to wait for it to come down. Italian defender trying to come in, but it's too late. Couldn't get anywhere near it. Could he get a good connection on his left foot? Absolutely he did. Past Donnarumma, who's been superb in the tournament so far, but not even he could stop that shot. Switzerland, as you say, Nigel, when it was still high and then he kicked it over like a lot of strikers would have, let alone midfielders. I think it goes to show the confidence both he and the team are at the moment, where he waited for the right moment. He realised Mancini wasn't close to him. Arguably got a little bit of luck with the deflection. It'd be interesting to see or to have known whether Donnarumma would have saved it, but forget about that. It was a great move. Switzerland have been on top. It was a really good finish, and they deserve to be at least 1-0.
South Africa 33 for 2 in the 6th over. 177 is their target to beat India and win the T20 World Cup. The match is back underway here. There was no free kick for Italy because there was no foul on Di Lorenzo, but we have 2 minutes of normal time to play in the first half. Switzerland 1, Italy 0. All 4 of Italy's
I'll be back
points in the
here
group stage
in a little bit.
behind.
Halftime's coming, and I got to step out for about 20 minutes. Be back
now,
soon.
Ndoye looking to shrug off the challenge of
Thanks for
Barella.
coming in too, False Scott. I appreciate it.
And Rieder. He cuts in field again. Aebischer in space. Poked back to Xhaka. And Switzerland here almost playing with a bit of swagger and arrogance as Freuler comes forward now down the right-hand side. His 9th international goal in his 71st appearance for Switzerland, giving them the lead. And what is a team which has miles on the clock, caps in the cabinet, and at the moment that experience is really helping.
And now again, they're just controlling the pace of the game, aren't they? They're just saying, okay, Italy, if you want to drop off, we'll pass it around. We're the team that's leading. The moment you come at us, we're going to play the ball through. And it's not just sideways and backwards, it's forwards.
Now Cher again. He was caught on the edge of the penalty area by El Shaarawy. It was a nasty challenge. It's a yellow card, and it's a free kick for Switzerland just outside the penalty area.
Well, with 30 seconds to go plus injury time, this could be a big moment in the game. El Shaarawy not able to get anywhere near pretty much a lot of the Italian players. That's actually a really nasty tackle.
Ooh, that's maybe worse than a yellow.
Well, it looks worse in slow motion. I hate looking at things in slow motion. It looks so much worse all the time, but I almost want to look at it in fast speed again now to say, was it as bad? It's definitely yellow.
Fabian Schär certainly felt it.
Bombing on down the right again, thinking he's...
Kieran Trippier.
I was going to say to Stanley Matthews, but that was even before my time.
Free kick. Reader will whip it into the near post with pace, and it's turned aside by Donnarumma. A brilliant save in the end. Reader going for goal from way out on the right-hand side. And Donnarumma there, maybe keeping Italy in the European Championships.
You know what? That's a brilliant save. And again, it shows the confidence Switzerland have right now, because unless you're ultra confident, you don't shoot from there. You put the ball in the box. He did. That was going in, maybe even touching the post. Brilliant save from Donnarumma.
Well, Donnarumma touched it onto the post at the near post, but deserved his luck. The corner into the near post, headed away by Cristante. We're into 3 added minutes at the end of the first half. Switzerland leading by a 1-0. And Italy here are really rocking.
They have just got to keep it to 1-0 now. They're 2 minutes away from going in. And Spalletti, as I say, absolutely brilliant at club level, certainly with Napoli. He's got the biggest team talk of his international career. Because at this moment in time, Italy are going out.
Bolo down the right-hand side, looking to allow the ball to run across his body so he could attack the penalty area. But Darmian nips in to clear the ball away. And Spalletti does have his lieutenant from Napoli, Giovanni Di Lorenzo, of course, on the field here today. He was his captain when they won the title. But 11 of the Italian squad came into the tournament with 8 caps or fewer, and that inexperience is shown at times. And Ndoye coming forward now for Switzerland, challenged by Darmian, and it will be a corner kick for Switzerland on the far side. Darmian doesn't agree. And he may have had a case, but it is a corner kick here for Switzerland with just under a minute of added time to play. And Italy here have got to hold out for half-time, only a goal down.
Yeah, and I agree with that disagreement. He didn't get the ball. So Italy will be livid if this goes in, but still, you're in this position, defend it properly.
The corner, high to the far post, and Schär peeling away, tried to nod it back into the 6-yard box, but in the end, Ndoye was involved with Donnarumma, and there was some chatter there off the ball, which wasn't entirely friendly because Ndoye was shoving over Donnarumma.
Oh, come on, get out. It's what, 6'4", 6'5", and Ndoye's hardly done anything. He's not even pushed him. The referee's bought that one.
With Italy here, just need to hear the half-time whistle to get in and regroup, because at the moment this has been really poor from the reigning champions. The half-time whistle goes, it will be some relief to them, but it was a first half that the Swiss would want to go on and on forever, because they have been the best team in every single department. The only surprise is it took them so long to score. 37 minutes, a brilliant goal in its construction, and the finish from Remo Freuler of Bologna. Italy have offered little in response, and at the moment, the reigning champions are going out of Euro 2024. Half-time, Switzerland 1, Italy 0.
Nigel Adderley, thank you very much indeed. So the Swiss on top in Berlin. They lead the holders, Italy, who have stunk the place out so far. And Switzerland fully deserve their lead. Swiss fans in great voice. And at the moment, it's their side heading into the quarter-finals. Scott Minto, if I can keep you for just a second. It's been Swiss domination so far. And talk me through that finish from Freuler for the goal, 8 minutes before the break, because it wasn't easy, was it? He had to wait a long time as it dropped to him inside the box.
Ollie, I didn't see that in a TalkSport trophy from anyone. I've got to be honest with you. And do you know what? It was a really well-worked goal. The ball was played out wide and it was fizzed into Freuler. We talked about perhaps for Italy that the way that they can get a goal is a timing of a run and a really good pass. It was, as I say, it was fizzed into him. So the first touch, when you're running at pace, so difficult to stop a ball dead. And it kind of bounced down, then bounced right up. And again, I cannot say how impressed I was with the composure of Freuler. The fact that he waited. He knows he's in a fantastic position. He knows an Italian defender's coming for him. He knows Donnarumma's going to get set and how difficult it is to beat him. But he waited and waited and waited, and what must have seemed like an eternity, but only a split second, really, in reality. And yet he waited for that ball to come down, and he got good connection. And in the end, a little bit of a deflection, but that move and that touch and that finish fully deserved the goal.
Yeah, it was a lovely finish, wasn't it? And it was coming, that goal, as well. 10 shots Switzerland had in that first half. They had 58% of the possession as well. And there was another golden chance, actually, at 0-0, Scott, for Breel Embolo. He was set through, wasn't he? Matteo Darmian was really late coming up out of defence, and it was a brilliant save for Donnarumma. He's made a few in that first half as well, because Italy just can't handle Switzerland.
Well, absolutely, and I think he's made the most saves coming into the knockout stage. He certainly made 11 saves and kept Italy in the competition. That save there, coupled with the fact that obviously later on that Switzerland has scored. If it was 2-0 now, I'd be saying, look, it's game over. I'm sorry, this Italian side is not coming back. But so for him to make that save, and he made the other one with the free kick, of course, from Fabian Rieder. So he's kept his side again in this competition. But in terms of Embolo, I can see how he's so good. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful. But I don't think his movement is as good as it should be. And he's not reading the game as much. And when you get that one-on-one situation, don't give the keeper a chance to make the save. If you have to take that extra touch, that's fine. Sometimes you say, look, at least it's hit the target. Not in that situation. You've got to make sure you put the ball in the way, whether you give the eyes, whether you get it out to come back in from the far post, or whether you just smack it as hard as you can, but away from the goalkeeper. Do not give the goalkeeper a chance. And that was a wonderful opportunity.
Scott, Italy have been so poor, so poor. And I want to ask you about their tactics, because I'm finding it all a bit baffling, really. They've got so many players that are so good when they get the ball to feet, the likes of Barella, etc. But it seems at times that they're really happy to just try and ping it over the top. Are you surprised that they're not trying to get a foot on the ball, get some possession, and try and hurt the Swiss by going through them?
Do you know what, Ollie? I think they tried to get hold of the ball, and Switzerland pressed so well. Again, I sort of was at pains to kind of say Switzerland are really good without the ball as much as they are with it. Because when they don't have it, they are pressing Italy so well. So if they do get a pass off, still there's another Swiss player who's able to get really, really tight. And by the time you've made 3 passes, they're giving the ball away. So then sometimes if they're deep, they're just knocking the ball long to Scamacca, who's got 1 if not 2 defenders alongside him. The best way of them doing it, I don't mind them knocking long balls, but that's when they're almost in the final third or sort of around about the halfway line, if Switzerland have got a high line. If not, the midfielders, who are losing out at the moment to the Swiss midfield, they have to be able to dominate their counterparts. You have to win your individual battles. There's been the odd time that Fagioli's got the ball in and sort of beat the press. Apart from that, it's not really happened at all. So when they've made 2 or 3 passes, they've not been able to keep it at all. So again, I can't reiterate enough. Switzerland, very good with the ball, but just as good without it.
Scott Minto, thank you very much indeed. Very intriguing scoreline in Berlin in the round of 16. Switzerland leading Italy by a 1-0. Still to come though on TalkSport this weekend. Straight after us, we're going to head to Dortmund as the host Germany take on Denmark. Stay with us for that. Adrian Durham will bring you live coverage of that game. And don't forget, tomorrow, mark your card, England against Slovakia is live on TalkSport. Adrian, Jim Proudfoot and the former England left-back Stuart Pearce will be in Gelsenkirchen. You don't want to miss that. In fact, all of the knockout games are live on TalkSport. There's a very tasty game on Monday at 5 o'clock, France against Belgium. So stick with us to hear every kick of the Euros. And by the way, just 12 days after the Euros finishes, we'll be at the Olympics. TalkSport's experts and pundits are going to provide live commentary across all sorts of sports as Team GB go for gold in Paris. So we'll bring you all that drama, all that emotion, and the medals, of course, from the Olympic Games live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 in late July and early August. Time now, though, to have a look at the latest odds with William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Well, given their domination, you won't be surprised to hear that if you want to back Switzerland to win, it's 8-15. Currently, at the moment, they lead by a 0-0. The draw is 13-5. An Italy win, which I have to say at the moment doesn't look very likely, is 13 2, and the match is 5-1 at the moment to go to penalties. That was a look at the latest odds thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18+, GambleAware.org.
Now, let's check in on the cricket, shall we? It's the T20 World Cup final in Barbados. India are playing South Africa. How's it looking, John Norman?
Tell you what, Ollie, this is a far more competitive game than the one we're bringing you on TalkSport 2 between Italy and Switzerland. You just cannot separate these two sides, and that continues to be the case. 70 for 2, South Africa. But just as I say that, the game just twists again. Tristan Stubbs, who's played beautifully well, has just moved across the stumps, exposed them on the offside. And Axar Patel has fired it 4 straight into the base of middle and off. And Stubbs has got to go for 31. So the pendulum has swung again. Just when it looked like South Africa were getting into a position where they were the favourites to go on and win this game. A partnership of 58 for the third wicket between Stubbs and Quinton de Kock. India have hit back. Earlier today, that man, Virat Kohli, who's had a really torturous tournament, top scored with 76 from 59 deliveries. Axar Patel did it with the bat as well, 47 before he was run out brilliantly by Quinton de Kock, as India made 176 for 7. In reply, South Africa were 12 for 2 early on in the third over. A partnership between Stubbs and de Kock has just come to an end, but that has brought the big hitting Heinrich Klaasen to the crease. So at the halfway stage, as we approach that of the South African innings, the target 177, 1 ball left of the 9th over, and this T20 World Cup very, very much in the balance. But that wicket will bring India back into the equation. Cannot split these two teams. South Africa, 70 for 3. They need 107 from the remaining 67 deliveries with 7 wickets in hand.
John Norman, thank you very much indeed. So the Swiss in control at the moment in Berlin. Can the Italians respond? The second half comes next on TalkSport.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction. Like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £20 on packs of beer like Peroni. Then there's party wear from £1. The midfield trio of bunting, face paint and flags.
And don't forget the dependable 2 for £7 on Coke 8-packs. Could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda with beer and decorations on offer until the 14th of July. Asda. That's more like it. Selected stores and lines subject to availability. Beer packs 10 times 330ml each. Not available in Scotland. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. May exclude express in small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out. Only in The Sun.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 50% more on every England game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders with 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
You could skydive out of a plane or swim with sharks. You might even skinny dip in icy cold waters. Or you could get that inexpressible high, that guaranteed rush from finding just the thing you wanted, the thing you needed, at a great sale price. IKEA Summer Sale, now on. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Here she is, the 3-time world champion.
What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes. Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty. You have to say, the judges are going to love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the Beach, book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
ATO protected.
On the Beach. Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. What's better than a last-minute winner? A crispy chicken royale delivered straight to your door.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
Talk Sport.
This is Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. I'm Ollie Kling. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. The knockout stages of the Euros are underway, and so far in Berlin, it's been Swiss supremacy. They lead Italy by a 0-0. Let's hear the halftime highlights with Carling.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Vargas with the low ball in, volley towards goal by Freuler, and it's taken brilliantly by Remo Freuler, and Switzerland have the goal they deserve. They have utterly dominated the Italians since the opening whistle, and that was a superb goal finished by Remo Freuler of Bologna. It is no more than Switzerland deserved, and the Italian defence of the European Championship is looking oh so tenuous at the moment. Reader will whip it into the near post with pace, and it's turned aside by Donnarumma. A brilliant save in the end. Reader going for goal from way out on the right-hand side, and Donnarumma there maybe keeping Italy in the European Championship. Italy have offered little in response, and at the moment, the reigning champions are going out of Euro 2024. Half-time, Switzerland 1, Italy 0.
Yeah, the Swiss in control. That was the halftime highlights. Thanks to Carling. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Players just milling in the tunnel, making their way back out for the second half at the Olympia Stadium. Let's bring in the former Chelsea left-back, Scott Minto, your summariser for this afternoon. Scott, 6 changes made by Spalletti to that.
Well, I think Luciano Spalletti has just asked UEFA if he can make another 6 changes and only been told no. Although Nigel was telling me that Giuseppe Bergami said he'd make 11 changes if he possibly could. Look, you've mentioned Jorginho, and actually that's the person that I would bring on because they have no control of this game at all. But it does look like Matteo Zaccagni, who obviously scored that last-minute wonder goal to keep Italy in the competition. Looks like he's coming on. We're waiting to see who's coming off. But I'm surprised there's only one substitution, to be honest with you. I feel for Scamacca, I really do. He's not been given any quality of the ball. It's El Shaarawy that's coming off. But I'd still take Scamacca off because even when he's got close to the ball, I think that the centre-halves have got him in his pocket at the moment.
Yeah, very interesting to see if this Italian side can respond in the second half. Their title is on the line. The holders at the moment trailing to Switzerland by a 0-0. It's time to hand back over for the second half with your commentary team, former Chelsea left-back Scott Minto and your commentator, Nigel Adley.
Thank you, Ollie. And that change, Matteo Zaccagni coming on for Stefan El Shaarawy. But as Scott was saying, they could have made 5 changes in the second half because that's how poor Italy were. So their team at the start of the second half is Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Mancini, Bastoni and Darmian, Cristante, Fagioli and Barella with Chiesa, Scamacca. And the saviour against Croatia, Zaccagni, now on the field on the left as Switzerland come forward in their red shirts, attacking the goal away to are right in the second half. They are defending the Marathon Gate at the Olympia Stadium. And they're working forward now with Vargas. He curls in. Oh, what an outstanding goal by Ruben Vargas. And 30 seconds into the second half, Switzerland double their lead. And the Italians are surely out of the European Championships. That was utterly superb from Ruben Vargas. And the Italians, who showed so much resilience in the rain at Wembley 3 years ago, are subsiding meekly in the sunshine in Berlin. It is Switzerland 2, Italy 0.
Wow. Well, what you say at the start of the second half is keep it tight, don't concede, stay in the game. And what's happened? Less than 30 seconds in, Switzerland have just been passing around the left, 1-2 touch play, and Ruben Vargas, look, it's a wonder finish. Donnarumma's got no chance whatsoever. But how on earth is he allowed to have that much space on his right foot, just inside the box, and no one's near him within 2 yards? Even, what is he, 6'5", Donnarumma? He's got close to it, but even he's not stopping it.
Oh,
and my goodness me, Murat Zakyaki,
Italy is
Switzerland
done.
manager, jumping off the bench. He knows how crucial that second goal is. 1-0 Italy are in the game. 2-0, I just don't see how they can come back.
Well, the Swiss team, Sommer in goal, Rodriguez, Akanji and Cher, Xhaka and Freuler, Eberscher and Rieder in the wide areas, Vargas, Mbolo and Ndoye. And Ruben Vargas of Augsburg in Germany, scoring his 8th international goal. And for the first time since the final in 2012, when Italy lost 4-0 to Spain, they've conceded more than once in a match at the European Championships. And that's
This
a run
is
of 16
over.
games. And you cannot see any way back for Italy here. If anything, you can see them getting absolutely hammered.
I think at this moment in time, and what we've seen in the sort of 47 minutes of football is it's down to Switzerland as to what the scoreline is going to be. Obviously, you do expect Italy to step it up, but I think it depends on Switzerland. If they can keep up the intensity, keep up what they've been doing up until now, both with and without the ball. The bottom line is, Nigel, they're a much better side than the Italians.
And of course, it is England or Slovakia in the quarterfinals in Dusseldorf next Saturday. Of course, we all know who we want to be playing there, but if they do, they'll have a really tough game if it stays like this.
I think Ollie asked the question, who do you want? I want Italy right now.
Yes. Chiesa with a free kick flighted high into the penalty area beyond everybody. And you can hear one or two boos from the Italian supporters. Spalletti on the edge of his technical area. He makes a change. He brings on Zaccagni. Before he's even touched the ball, they're 2-0 down.
Now, do you know what? You can't blame him. He's hardly been in the job, well, certainly not even a year yet. You know,
an athlete's mental and emotional condition is directly affected by physical activity. Your mind and body can't be separated, so your mental health and physical health go hand in hand.
For the game, aspects of the manager have had no idea what his best 11 is. There's no consistency at all. But even so, sorry, Nigel, just the goal itself, really well worked goal from Switzerland. Great passing, great interchange, and a wonderful finish. But the amount of time each player has been allowed on the ball, that's down to the players themselves.
Now Rodriguez coming forward. The Swiss want more here. It's the first time they've scored more than 2 in a game against Italy since 1992, and they want to maybe set a few records here and maybe right a few historical wrongs. They'd only won 8 of the previous 61 meetings. But at the moment, there is only one team on the field here. As Freuler comes forward now, it breaks for Mbolo on the edge of the penalty area. Square again towards Rieder. His ball wide towards Ndoye was blocked in Italy. Will clear. And at the moment, it seems only a freak or a Swiss mistake gives Italy a hope in this game. And now a free kick's been given because Darmian has hauled down Ndoye.
And you're expecting a reaction from the Italians, and what's happening? It's still Switzerland dominating the ball and winning it back when they don't have it. Look, things can change, and you can never give up, especially playing for your country. And suddenly, somehow, and I don't know how at this moment in time, but if they were able to make it 2-1, then maybe the Swiss can start to get a bit nervous. But at this moment in time, at 2-0, there's going to be another goal. It looks like it's going to come from the Swiss.
Well, Spalletti was handed a rather weak hand by Roberto Mancini when he took the money in Saudi Arabia, because Italy hadn't qualified for back-to-back World Cups. And increasingly now, that victory in the European Championships looks almost an anomaly, because they've done very little either side of that.
It looks to be a piece of brilliant management from both Roberto Mancini and Gianluca Vialli.
And players approaching the end of their careers, just giving it one final go. Like Bonucci and Chiellini, and players like Chiesa came in and had a very good tournament as Fagioli plays a high ball forward. And goodness me, Cher with a back header towards his own goal, comes back off the post. And maybe that was the moment to give Italy some hope.
This is what I'm talking about. From absolutely nowhere, Italy had nothing to do with it. Just a hopeful ball played in. And a cushioned header, where sometimes where you're feeling so confident, you don't really cushion it there, or try and bring it down, or just head it away. Keep it simple. Keeper went one way, ball went the other. Everyone's waiting, and it hit the post and bounced out.
Now Barella for Italy, 51 minutes played. Switzerland 2, Italy 0 in the opening game of the round of 16 at the European Championships. The TalkSport network will bring you every single game between now and the final on the 14th of July. And as things stand, Italy will not be heading back to Berlin for that final, but Bastoni on this near side tries to deliver a low cross in. It's blocked, and it will be an Italy corner. In the cricket, South Africa 101 for 3 in the 12th over. They need 76 of 49 to beat India and win the World T20. Corner for Italy here. Zaccagni will take it. An in-swinger. Met at the near post by Akanji. And the shot from Chiesa is blocked quickly by Vargas, who scored the second goal. And it's all the way back to Gianluigi Donnarumma, who has had no chance with either goal. 52 minutes played. Italy just striving for something to go their way here, although they're not playing well enough to really deserve a stroke of good fortune, which nearly arrived, courtesy of the header from Fabian Cher. Fagioli again. And here is Darmian inside the centre circle. It was only the third time in 25 games that Italy had trailed at half-time in the European Championship game, as Bastoni catches Ndoye in the face on this near side, and it will be a free kick for Switzerland. And it was maybe a handoff for Ndoye. I'm not too sure it was that much contact, but it will be a free kick for Switzerland.
I tell you what, Switzerland got so lucky with that back header from Cher. He's leaning back, the ball was played in. As I say, he's headed it and it's looped. Keeper beaten, hit the post.
Vargas losing out to Di Lorenzo, and it's claimed by Donnarumma.
Sorry, Nigel. Sometimes if you're not very good, you need a lot of luck. And Italy at the moment are not very good, and they didn't have any luck there. As I say, no matter how it comes, if they can make it 2-1, they're back in the game. But 2-0 seems a million miles away for them.
Ndoye now, wide towards Reader. On this near side, looking to break into the penalty area down the right. All left foot. Back towards Ndoye again. And now square to Granit Xhaka, who has not wasted a pass so far. Rodriguez tries his luck left-footed from long range. It's blocked by Cristante, and it spins away on the far side for a throw into Switzerland.
We tried one earlier in the first half, didn't he? It went over. Cristante. There's a good block in the end. At least he's trying to get tight. Has to be some strike, I think, to beat Donnarumma from their minds. And it just shows the confidence Switzerland have right now.
Fagioli's clearance straight to Akanji. Now Xhaka again. Switzerland beginning to pop the ball around with that swagger and arrogance. A 1-2 between Freuler and Mbolo. The cross in towards Reader is cleared away by Darmian. 55 minutes played. And the Swiss coming forward now with Mbolo again. But Chiesa coming back with a good challenge. But it says so much about the way Italy are playing that it's Chiesa often having to come back and make those sorts of challenges.
Well, he received the ball and he had two players around him. He lost the ball, and at least he was working hard, tracking back. But where the Italians want him is further forward and on the ball at the moment. He's working hard, yes, but Italy can't get in the final third.
Zaccagni down this near side, the left. Tumbles under the challenge of Ndoye, but gets back to his feet, wins it back, delivers a cross in, headed away by Cher. Now Fagioli on the edge of the penalty area. Back to Cristante, fires in the shot, blocked by Akanji, and he breaks kindly for Aebischer on the far side. He finds Vargas, and in the end, the final touch was off an Italian boot, and it will be a Swiss throw. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Coming up tonight from Dortmund at 8 o'clock, Germany against Denmark with Adrian Durham, Ian Danta and Darren Bent. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, England against Slovakia. And we'll be building up to that game all day. And following that match, you can have your say on TalkSport. The Spain against Georgia game, an 8 o'clock kickoff, will be over on TalkSport too. And there's going to be a yellow card here for Mancini.
It's another yellow card, isn't it? They're racking up a little bit for the Italians. Again, just shows how they're stretching, playing at their maximum, certainly defensively. What they cannot afford to do is go down to 10 men. It really is game over there.
Mancini booked for catching Reader. Third Italian to be shown the yellow card. I think the ball has burst as well, so Simon Marciniak, the referee, is calling for a replacement as one or two Italian fans look to raise their fellow compatriots and generate some noise inside the stadium, because it's all rather quiet at the moment. And I think the fans who've made the journey to Berlin know the game is up.
There also look to be a few Italian fans who just cannot believe what they are watching at the moment. It really has been poor, but you have to say, you've got to give a lot of credit to Switzerland. As I say, been really impressive with the ball, but also without the ball. Not allowed Italy to do anything. We're coming up to the hour mark, and they've still not had a shot on target, the Italians.
Closest they've come has been thanks to Fabian Cher.
Absolutely.
Now the Swiss coming forward again with Reader. Aebischer. I'm not sure the ball was intended for Freuler on the halfway line, but Aebischer gets it back anyway. Here is Ndoye. And Aebischer is really helping to dictate the pace of the game, along with Xhaka and Aebischer and Freuler. And at the moment, the Italians can't even get a kick. And for seasoned fans of Italian football, this must be hard to take, because they're not just losing this game, they are losing it and getting lessons as well.
No, and this is just getting as tough as it was against Spain. You know, and they were technically still in the game with it being 1-0. At this moment in time, we talked about no shots on target. Closest they've come to scoring is a massive defensive mistake in the Swiss defence. And Switzerland just pinging the ball around.
And Ndoye comes in field from the right-hand side. He goes for goal left-footed, looking to emulate the earlier effort from Vargas. Maybe the ball slipped into Mbola, may have been the better option, because Ndoye completely miskicked that from 25 yards and sent it skewering high over the crossbar.
I think once he realised he wanted the shot on his left foot, he needed a couple of seconds to set himself up and missed out on looking at the opportunity of putting Mbolo in. But again, when you're 2-0 up and dominating, why not have a go?
66 runs in 41 balls, the equation for South Africa to win the World T20 against India. 111 for 4 in the 14th over.
Did he?
Now Zaccagni for Italy. An hour played. Switzerland leading 2-0. Fagioli looked to whip it high for Di Lorenzo coming in at the far post.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Switzerland will clear, but now Cristante. Fagioli, 25 yards out, in towards Scamacca, but he was trying to hold off Akanji, who seemed to have him almost in a wrestling hold there inside the area, but he clears the ball away. And now Rodriguez. Mancini beating Mbolo in the air, but Switzerland always seem to pick up the second ball, and there's a rush challenge there from Darmian on Reader, and it's a Swiss free kick just inside their own half. An hour played, Switzerland 2 up and utterly in control.
Well, first of all, it was brilliant defending from Akanji. To say he was in control, both physically and mentally, of that situation, he's just pushed Skamaka out the way. He's inside the box. He's given a little 3-yard pass to Granit Xhaka, who's got a guy on him who doesn't try to kick it out, doesn't panic. It's almost like a training session now for them. That's how comfortable they are. Just got to be careful. They keep on it and don't think they've got it beaten. As I say, 2-0. Done and dusted. 2-1. Game on.
Switzerland have reached the knockout phase now in 6 successive tournaments. So this is very much a golden era for them. They've had 13 attempts on goal, 4 on target. Switzerland have had, or rather, Italy have had 3, 0 on target, which tells you all you need to know.
And even when you look at the possession, it's 54% to Switzerland. It'd be a lot higher if they actually wanted the ball the whole time. Now they're quite happy to let Italy have the ball.
Chiesa on the far side, the right. Shrugs off Abisha initially, but then Vargas comes across to make the challenge. And it will be an Italian throw-in.
Brilliant defending again, just doubling up on Chiesa. And again, when you're on top, you feel like you're full of energy. Abishir had a one-on-one. He had to try and deal with him, hold him up. In comes
He's
Vargas.
being called a sellout?
Yeah, he's had no chance.
61 minutes played on Talk Sport. Switzerland 2, Italy 0. At the moment, this has the feeling of the last days of Italy's reign as European champions. Cristante, wide to the far side, and Di Lorenzo. Chiesa takes over again. The cross in over the head of Scamacca, headed away by Cher, but Italy win it back. Fagioli picking out Darmian, but they're very narrow on this near side. Darmian looking to provide the width, but he comes in field. And now Italy do have some possession, but the Swiss seem to have them exactly where they want them.
They've got no real pace up front. That's wide or as your striker. So Switzerland are quite happy to push up a bit. And that means the midfield can push up. So the Italian midfielder not having time to look up.
Di Lorenzo wide towards Chiesa again. He comes in field. He tries to reverse it back into the area, looking for Scamacca. Right sort of idea, but Scamacca wasn't really on his toes, and the Italians are about to make a change, and Matteo Retegui will be coming on.
You know, I'm not surprised. Waiting to see whether he takes Scamacca off or plays 2 up front and then just goes long. But at this moment in time, Switzerland are dominating. I just said about how well they've been without the ball. There, they just stayed off a yard from each of the Italian players, and Chiesa very nearly played Scamacca in. They need to be right at it, Switzerland. Dominating this game, cannot allow Italy to get back into it. If the Italians can, then maybe they can do something, a miracle like they did in the last game.
Well, they knocked out the French in the round of 16 3 years ago, Switzerland. A dramatic game in Bucharest on penalties when they were 3-1 down and came back to equalise and eventually won, and then they lost to Spain in St. Petersburg, also in a shootout. But it's Barella who has gone off, and Retegui will come on. So Italy sacrificing a player in midfield, their best player in midfield over the tournament, certainly. And it will be Scamacca and Retegui up front. So it's almost 4-4-2.
Not surprised. I am surprised perhaps he's taken off Barella. To go 2 up front, you've got to go for it now.
Barella's on a yellow card as Italy give the ball away again around their own penalty area. Abisha, square now to Xhaka. Xhaka picking out Vargas again, who goes beyond Di Lorenzo on the outside. Cuts back. Here is Xhaka now. Fires in the shot left-footed. It's blocked. Jab back out wide towards Vargas. Abisha inside the penalty area. He will go back towards Rodriguez down the left. 64 minutes played. Rodriguez on the overlap now. A crossing opportunity, but he never got hold of it. But he gets it back. And now Rodriguez lofts it in. And Doi goes for the spectacular scissors kick from about 15 yards out. Makes no contact whatsoever. Crashes down to earth. And Italy will eventually clear.
When you're 2-0 up and dominating, you can do that.
Why not? Yeah. And now Fagioli pushes over Reina.
I'm glad for his sake he's not injured. I know I would be trying to do something like that. Came right down on his back.
But it's another Swiss free kick here. I'm just watching a replay of Ndoi. He did land on the small of his back. Sort of move these days, you're trying a trampoline. 65 minutes played. Switzerland 2, Italy 0. And the Italians, the reigning champions, are going out here, and their fans are so bored, they're doing a Mexican wave.
Well, they're trying to somehow just enjoy the atmosphere now, or create an atmosphere, because we're not seeing anything on the pitch.
Reader nearly scored from this sort of position during the first half. Reader again fires the ball in with pace, and I think he was going for goal again. Went for the other side, and it's just over the top.
Well, I think he was aiming for just